Good day, viewers. Welcome once again to your favorite program, our favorite program, The Conversation, coming to you from TV 360 here in Lagos, Nigeria. My name is Nelson Ekujumi, and I have here with me in the studio Richard Adeyinka, the CEO of Data Home Research Limited. Richie, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you. Good to return after some episodes.
I know you are in the upbeat because your team won over the weekend.
Yes, so Manchester United is the darling of the world.
Well, don't forget, we have a record that nobody has matched even till now.
The record that has not fetched Champions League is no record.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. That was on the lighter note. Yeah, thank you for joining us. Yes, like we all know, The Conversation is a topical issues program that looks at issues within Nigeria and in the diaspora. On top of the bill today, we are going to look at the Afe Babalola versus Dele Farotimi case in court now. There has been this news making the rounds out there that Dele Farotimi is being persecuted. And for me, I said, no. This is a country governed by laws.
Yes.
And under our law, just like anywhere in the world, the right to be aggrieved is inherent in any human being. And when you are aggrieved, what you should do within the civilized conduct, it has also been stipulated. Dele Farotimi wrote a book titled Nigeria's...
a pamphlet.
A pamphlet. Somebody said...
65 pages.
Okay. That's not a book. So he titled it Nigeria's Criminal Justice System, and he alleged that Chief Afe Babalola corrupted the judiciary. And you know, for me, where I found the pamphlet, like you said, intriguing the most is that he also alleged that in procuring a warrant to execute the judgment, that Chief Afe Babalola doctored that judgment, which is a criminal offense
in itself.
So when people are saying that book, that pamphlet is not only about defamation, it's also about a criminal aspect of our law.
See, it's so unfortunate the kind of society we have turned out. See, remove sentiment. Let's talk about morality, what is normal, what is not normal, what is ethical, what is not ethical. The fact that the book was self-published, I don't want to refer to it as a book, but that is no book, shows that the man intentionally, he had a mission to tear down
the image
of
and the name
his perceived enemy. Now, you are not part of the case at all.
From the High Court to the Court of Appeal to the Supreme Court. It was not a party.
It was not. The report did not recognize, did not mention the law report that captured the case. Did not nowhere that Dele Farotimi came into the picture. It was
so how did it come about?
Afe
Babalola corrupted
at the Supreme Court. It was even at the Supreme Court that Afe Babalola chamber
came into the picture. Yes.
Now, at what point the FRA Williams chamber did not allege
corruption against the other?
Yes. How come you that did not appear, that was not in the picture, all true, suddenly you are alleging that something happened? I do not know in my life how somebody be so bold to tarnish the image. Someone see, I am not here to tell you judiciary is not corrupt.
Of course.
Judiciary is corrupt.
Yes.
That is not
that's an issue for another day.
But
when you allege a person to have corrupted certain individuals,
that means on the basis of that
case, that means you have the facts.
That means you have the facts. So everybody, every right-thinking person should ask you to produce evidence to back up. The pamphlet is not the evidence
at all.
It is the
he has not said anything in there.
It is the vehicle for that act itself
yes.
of defaming the image of Chief Afe
Babalola and the Supreme Court.
Yes. So you must now be called to present the evidence that you have. Not to, as a matter of fact, his supporters, what they are holding on is the fact that they don't want him, they abducted him, they kidnapped him, they did this, they did that. That is not, for me, that is even immaterial. What we are talking about is, you said Chief Afe Babalola corrupted the judiciary. No problem. Produce that evidence. And you also mentioned some
other names, yes.
Who have now reason to
Richie,
charge him
you know,
to
for
court.
me, when the news broke, knowing Dele Farotimi, having watched several of his interviews, I was like, I'm not surprised.
Yes.
You know, that was what they did during NSAS.
Yeah.
Where they claimed the army killed 76 persons at Lekki toll gates. Later, it reduced to 43. It became 12. They kept changing the narrative. And as we speak, I was at that panel for 1 year. I can tell you for free. Not an iota of evidence was brought about a person, one life, to substantiate that the army killed one life. Now, not one. I challenge them. This is 4 years after.
Now, okay, let me play the devil's advocate. Let me say, yes, people were killed. But you must produce evidence to show that people die. That is what even Bible enjoins us to do as a Christian.
Richard, there was even a case of a particular individual whom they brought. His name is Nathaniel Abuta. No, his name is Solomon Abuta. He said his junior brother Nathaniel Abuta was killed. When he came to the panel, he was asked by the counsel on the other side that this picture you have brought of somebody lying in a pool of blood, you say you claim is your brother. That when you submitted your petition, did this incident just happen or it had happened a long time? He said it just happened. He said, then why didn't you submit this with it? It was like he didn't know that. The lawyer now said, okay, no problem. The lawyer now said, this body that is lying down in a pool of blood, this spot, where is it? Solomon Abuta said, that is inside the toll booth. The lawyer now said, but you can see that there are grasses around him, and you know the toll booth is cemented. Yes, there's no grass there. It's a concrete floor. Oh, he said, no, back of Oriental hotels. He changed his story. The lawyer now said, okay, no problem, back of Oriental hotels, okay. Do you have police report? He said, no. Do you have death certificate? He said, no. Do you have mortuary receipt? He said, no. Do you have burial ground certificate receipt? He said, no, for crying out loud.
See, I tell, social media is really misleading. It creates false impression, even about people that are making allegations. And if you have seen our issues in Nigeria over time, many people have become victims of defamation, character assassination.
Yeah. You know. I Nelson Ekujimi, sitting down before you, my name was maligned by somebody who sat at a press conference with Dele Farotimi and later Adesina Ogunlana, where they made allegations just because I stood my ground that those stories about killings by the army in Lekki toll gate was false. They made allegations against me that I was one of those that was recruited by the government to attack NSAS protesters. They even called me names. But when I wanted to take it to court, I realized that the person that made that allegation, the young man is by name Wiseman Ajayi. He was the gubernatorial candidate of Omoyele Showore's party in the last Ondo State election. He has no address. He has no means of livelihood. So they purposely set that guy up to because they know we won't be able to track him
and
to sue him.
And we should not just join the bandwagon to the extent that when somebody just make allegation, we just believe and say we should be able to ask the person that, do you have evidence to back up what you are saying?
We must even remind our people about the ALU4.
The ALU4, yes, Port Harcourt. So we should not, we are creating a bad society for ourselves, for our children, if all we do is we give some people the latitude to just raise allegations, say anything, tear down people's image, reputation,
tear down the country as well
over time. No, that is not what we call activism
at all. No, activism is not anarchism
at all. It's not. It doesn't mean that you should bring down someone in the, or conjure something in your head as your perceived enemy.
And
then you begin to make allegations.
The painful thing for me is that educated minds will tell you that, oh, he has said the truth, they are persecuted. I said,
no, if we ask now that, bring out that truth, bring evidence out. The reason why he self-published that pamphlet, is because if he had gone through the normal channel.
No, they said nobody, all the publishers refuse to
publish. They will. That's like a monograph. What is everybody is calling a book, just like a monograph. And then the editors will query all what he alleged.
Of course, he must be able to substantiate.
And they will ask him, or else they will strike out
those aspects. Yes.
But because you do not want to submit yourself to rational thinking, you think everybody, once you raise it and it goes on social media, he has a YouTube channel, and you can allege anything on YouTube, and then you have people that will support you and join you. No. Everybody. See, let's see how long Chief Afe Babalola has come. How long he has come. When he started 1963 practicing law and all that. I read a book of Who is Who that was published in 1990. Chief Afe Babalola did not feature. That's like 30-something years ago.
Yes,
did not feature among Who is Who
in Nigeria.
At that time. That's almost 30 years that he's been working. And now gradually, he has built that name. He didn't relent.
The name is a global brand.
Now, you want to tear down. I'm not saying he is a saint.
Of course,
and I'm sure he will not tell anybody that he is a saint.
No, saint resides.
However, on this judgment that you are alleging,
on this matter,
that you did not even participate in, it beggars belief and it abuses sensibility that any right-thinking person will listen to Dele Farotimi and say Dele Farotimi is telling the truth. Whose truth?
I wonder.
Whose truth? Now, Chief Afe Babalola practiced in the days of Alawa Kabasho.
Yes.
The radical lawyers, the Komi Ochobu, the Femi Falana, Gani Fawemi and co.
Yes.
Are you saying that he was corrupting the judiciary while those people were alive and they never talked?
And they didn't talk.
You are the only lawyers. I mean, you are the only lawyer who can raise or who discover the only Bongo Park. The Bongo Park who discovered the River Niger in the judiciary. To immediately you are alleging. Now, if they ask you, provide evidence, you are saying your supporters are saying they kidnapped you, they did this, they did that. Did they anchor out of your chamber the video that we saw
it now?
Did they carry you?
Yes, you walk beside them.
Lawyers can disagree on whatever they say. However, any one of us can become victim tomorrow of social media mob.
Yes.
Somebody will say
cyberbullying,
and others will just chorus it and take it as the truth. No. Many people have become victims of character assassination in this country.
Absolutely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we'll go on a short break. We'll be right back. Please continue to watch the conversation coming to you from TV 360 here in Lagos, Nigeria. We'll be right back.